So, I was watching YouTube earlier today, and I saw a very interesting video on Do You Nerds channel where they spelled out their names using video games. And I thought it was a pretty cool idea, and they threw an open tag, so I figured, why not? But you gotta bear with me just a little bit because VKQ, Interests and Adventures, is pretty long. So let's just get started. V. I'm going to start off with Vigilante 8. Anybody who plays this game knows it's a really good one, and in my opinion, up there with the Twisted Metal. V. Now we got to go K, and I wanted to go old school. So I picked Kangaroo for the Atari. I used to have a lot of fun playing this game actually when I was really little. I haven't played it in a long time, but that's because my Atari right now only has Y-prong hookups and I don't have an adapter. So if anybody has one and they want to hook me up, hit me up in the comments. Okay. And for Q, Qbert. I love Qbert. So we picked Qbert on the PS1 because it's the only copy I have of any of the Qbert games at the moment. But I'll be working on that, so VKQ. On to the interests and adventures. So VKQ. So for interests, I picked ice hockey on the NES. Very fun game, not as good as Blades of Steel in my personal opinion, but a fun game nonetheless. So I, sticking with the NES because it is by far my favorite console, I'm picking Nintendo Hard, Ninja Gaiden. I have never beaten this game without using cheat codes on a Game Genie. And for T, I picked Tetris. I didn't feel like digging out my handheld, so I picked the NES version, even though my favorite version is on the Game Boy, because I spent many an hour on my Game Boy in the back seat playing Tetris, driving my parents or grandparents nuts on road trips. So, and T. On to the E. Eternal Champions for the Sega Genesis. Just a fun game that I never actually played up until I picked this up just a few years ago. So growing up, it was not one I had in my collection or was even on my radar. R. Back to the NES. Rescue. A very overlooked game in my opinion. It starts off with you running, gunning, jumping over walls, trying not to be seen by spotlights, and then you get to rappel down a building, and then you're a SWAT guy taking out all the people on the inside, and there's a sniper level. It's just really fun. Next E is Evil Dead, Fistful of Boomstick on the PS2. I know Do You Nerd picked it on the Xbox, but I prefer the PlayStation myself. I'm not a huge Xbox guy. But then again, I don't have too much experience with Xbox. Alright, now comes S, back to the NES, with Skate or Die. It's one of the first games I bought with my own money as a kid, actually. Really fun one. I loved playing Joust and Downhill Jam. And sticking with the skate theme, after Skate or Die, there was 720, then Skate or Die, and then came along the Tony Hawk series, and I picked Tony Hawk 4 on the GameCube. And now, for the final letter in interests, I picked Street Fighter 2. What's there to say about Street Fighter 2? It is an absolute classic. I spent a lot of quarters at Rodsburger on Artesia in Redondo Beach, dropping quarters in there after school, eating some dank chili fries, and playing video games. Now, I don't have any video games that has the AND symbol, so I decided to spell it out, make it a little more difficult on myself. Why not? Arch Rivals. By far one of the funnest basketball games out there. Get to run around punching people and stealing the ball. I loved it. My favorite character is actually Mohawk on that. And sticking with basketball, NBA Ballers Phenom. I have beat this game a few times through in a career mode, and it's just really fun, especially when you get to custom make your own characters. And D for Donkey Kong Country. Everybody loves Donkey Kong Country. It is just a great platformer. And now, push this back a little, because we got to get to the adventures. So the first one I'm picking, Asteroids. And I'm picking the At Games Blast one right now, just because I didn't feel like going through and trying to find my Atari version. It doesn't seem to be where it's supposed to be at the moment. I really hope it's not a buddies borrowing missing situation. Alright. My favorite game of all time, those of you know me, Dragon Warrior. Dragon Warrior, in my personal humble opinion, is the best RPG ever made. And you can come at me if you want, but in my personal opinion, it is the greatest. This is what got me into RPGs. The Virtual Fighter on the 32X. I have it on the PS2, but I don't know, something about playing it on the 32X was always just kind of fun. E. Excite Bike. Who doesn't love Excite Bike? It's just a great game. And sticking with a race theme, Need for Speed Underground on the PS2. I'm showing the inside because, well, I got the back jacket, but the front part's all jacked up. But I picked it up at a yard sale a long time ago for like $1, and it came in great condition. So, Need for Speed Underground. T. Tag Team Wrestling. This one was just really fun, even though you had the generic titles on the characters. U is a hard one for me because I don't have too many games to start with U, so I ended up settling on Ultraman. Then for R, Ratchet and Clank, Going Commando. I almost picked up your Arsenal, but I decided on Going Commando. I just had more fun with this one. ECW, Hardcore Revolution. And to round it off, Sonic Spinball. I'm going to set these up real quick so you can see our names spelled out with 25 games. And here it is, VKQ, Interests and Adventures, spelled out in video games. 25 games to be exact. And I like this idea so much that I'm going to do something similar tomorrow. Except I'm going to do it with movies. So, stay tuned for that tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.